Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Linda Carolina, or you can call me simply Carolina. Today I will be sharing with you guys my Tres Leches recipe. I think it's really simple and really easy, and I do get a lot of compliments on this. The last time I made this, I got a lot of questions on my Instagram, so I decided to make a video tutorial to show you guys how I make it. It will be divided in 3 parts. I will also be leaving the ingredients in the description below, but please follow along. Okay, so part 1 is going to consist of the base of the cake, the actual cake portion of it. Now what I do is I buy store-bought cake mixes, specifically yellow, or you can use white, and I just make that. I usually do 2 because, as you know, Tres Leches cake is a very spongy cake, so you do want it to be able to soak up all the ingredients. So you would just make that as normal, as instructed on the box. So the box did say to use 6 eggs, like 3 for each. I ended up just doing 4, but it's certainly up to you. So you want to make sure you mix it really, really well. Make sure you get all the powder out of there and make it like nice and smooth, and it should have that consistency to it. The very next thing you want to do is you're going to put it in a metal pan, or you can use a glass pan, whichever you have on hand. I did forget to mention, but I'm pretty sure it's self-explanatory. You do want to grease the pan really, really well, just to make it easier to remove the cake afterwards. Also, another thing is you should clean as you go. So I included that little clip of myself cleaning. Okay, so for part 2, this is the milk part of it, or the leche. What you're going to need is some heavy whipping cream, some evaporated milk, and some condensed milk. But before all that, you do want to make sure your cake is thoroughly baked, and then you will be poking holes in your cake with a fork, or you can use a skewer. I use a fork just so it's more evenly spread out. You'll need a large mixing bowl and some vanilla extract, or pure vanilla. It doesn't matter, as long as it's vanilla. So you're going to need 2 cups of evaporated milk, 2 cups of heavy whipping cream, and 2 cups of condensed milk, and a capful to 2 capfuls, so 1 to 2 capfuls of vanilla extract. You're going to mix all of that in a bowl. I did lose some footage from when I did the evaporated milk, but I did want to mention, so the evaporated milk had a little bit over 2 cups in it, and I wasn't going to waste any of the milk because I was like, when am I going to use this again? So I ended up putting the rest of it in there. So the evaporated milk, I put 2 cups and maybe a fourth to like 2/3. So that's something that's okay. I mean, the more milk you put in, the like spongier the cake will be, as you'll see when I get to that portion. And that's certainly no problem. And you just want to whisk it together, or you can use a hand mixer. You just want to make sure it's all blended very thoroughly, so it makes like a nice thick milk for the cake. And then if you want, you can let the milk chill a little bit in the fridge, or if you want to make it right away, that's perfectly fine as well. What you're going to do is slowly pour the milk over the cake, and I say slowly because you want to make sure that the milk is going in evenly and it's not overflowing. So as you can see here, it's starting to pool a little bit in the middle, which is perfectly fine. I'm going to show you guys how to fix that. But as you can see, I'm just pouring it really, really slowly. You can move the pan around a little bit to spread it out. But in order to fix the pooling that's in the middle, that just means you didn't make enough holes in that area. So you just need to take your fork and make some more holes. That is it. It's a really easy, quick fix. But be really, really gentle, because as you can see, the cake is already very, very soft because it's like soaked up a lot of the milk already. So you're going to keep doing that until all of it is soaked in, and you're just going to keep pouring the milk over. So it's a little bit. And now we're moving on to part 3. This is probably my favorite part, just because it's so fun. So the whipped cream for this cake, the icing for this cake is like a whipped cream. It's a homemade whipped cream. For this, you will need a large bowl, some powdered sugar, 2 mixing cups, so a half a cup and a 1 cup, some heavy whipping cream, and some vanilla extract. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to place 2 cups of heavy whipping cream into your mixing bowl, and make sure you get every last drop. We don't waste in this house. So you're going to get the 2 cups, and you're going to start to mix it with, you can use a hand mixer, or you can use stand mixer. I personally like to use a hand mixer so I can control the speed and the hand motions, like the way it's going. And you're going to put in 2 capfuls of vanilla extract, or you can put more depending on your like or dislike for vanilla. So you're going to start mixing that first. I would start low and then slowly move to a higher speed. And as you're doing that simultaneously, you want to slowly put in your 1/2 cup of powdered sugar. You're going to keep mixing until you get a thicker consistency, and I'll show you guys what exactly you're looking for. Now, you don't want to overmix, because overmixing will turn this into butter, and that's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to make a whipping cream. And the great thing about this is you can use it on strawberries, you can use it as Cool Whip, you can freeze it. There's so many things you can do with this icing recipe, so it's definitely like one of my favorite recipes ever. Okay. As you can see, I continued mixing and mixing and mixing, and this is the consistency you want. You want it to be fluffy and cloud-like and pretty, and then you're going to start putting it on your cake. Something I did want to mention before that I just realized is before you start pouring the milk over the cake and before you start frosting it, certainly, you do want to make sure your cake is 100% cooled. Okay, and there you have it. That is how you make the best Tres Leches recipe ever. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you decide to make it for your friends and family, leave me a comment and let me know if you liked it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and make sure you subscribe, thumbs up, and let me know in the comments if there's anything else you want me to teach you how to make, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.